Although the 13th Amendment makes it unlawful to own slaves, the American legal system has found a loophole to enslave minorities by incarcerating them. African Americans make up 6.5% of the American population, but account for more than 40% of the prison population. Growing rates of wrongful convictions against minorities has become one of America's tactics to enslave and discriminate against people of color.
First, we begin with that breaking news we mentioned just a few moments ago. A man wrongfully convicted of raping a teenager 20 years ago just became a free man after walking out of a Macomb County prison.
He spent 16 years in prison after being wrongly convicted of rape. His accuser, a best-selling author, is now apologizing, saying she's truly sorry. But how do you undo such a life-altering mistake?
In Detroit, an emotional reunion for a young man who was released from prison after serving 9 years for murders he did not commit. Devontae Sanford walked out a free man and went home to his mother and his family. He was convicted when he was just 15 years old, even though authorities say the real murderer confessed long ago. ABC's Alex Perez is in Detroit.
On November 20th, the state of Texas is trying to take my life, trying to execute me, strap me to a table and inject my body with poisons. All I can do is tell you that I'm innocent. I had nothing to do with that.
I served 23 years for a wrongful conviction.
I did 29 years in prison for a crime I didn't commit.
I spent 39 years of my life in prison for a crime I didn't commit.
It is a day-to-day assault on the human soul. I had my life stolen away for 25.5 years for a crime I didn't commit. You can't get that time back.
This is a miscarriage of justice.
People are being executed, persecuted for things they didn't even do based on the color of their skin.
I can endure the beatings, the bites, the stabbings, but the loneliness, I was mad, I was hurt.
The scene you're about to see is an interview from May 2019 with the Central Park 5. This case involved 4 African American boys and 1 Latin American. When the boys were just 15 to 16 years old, they were falsely accused of sexually assaulting and beating a woman to death within Manhattan's Central Park. The boys spent a range of 5 to 11 years in jail until the state of New York had finally found the individuals responsible for the homicide and were compensated $41 million.
Oh, that's, Kevin Richardson, the guy from the Central Park jogger case.
The Wilding case.
The Wilding case.
So nothing makes that right? Nothing. And it's 30 years later, and we are the proof that when you damage kids as young as 14, 15, and 16 years old for a period of 14 and a half years, right, and beyond, how do you fix that?
An exoneree can apply for $140 for every day spent in state prison. In a trial, you're presumed innocent until proven guilty. But when in front of the Compensation Review Board, you are assumed ineligible until proven innocent.
It doesn't make any sense to me. It confuses me more because that's what I don't understand. You're releasing him, but you're not compensating him even though his charges were overturned.
The final clip is from the movie Just Mercy, starring Michael B. Jordan as an upcoming African-American lawyer in a small Alabama county in 1989. It is based on a true story of a black lawyer who has just graduated from Harvard and puts his practice towards helping wrongfully convicted people get off death row. People lose years in jail for a crime they did not commit, and often have to live the rest of their lives with the trauma the case has brought to them.
If we're just going to accept the system that treats you better if you're rich and guilty than if you're poor and innocent, then we can't claim to be just. If we say we're committed to equal justice under law, to protecting the rights of every citizen, regardless of wealth, race, or status, then we have to end this nightmare for Walter McMillan and his family.